Assalamualaikum students. I hope all of you are fine. So students, yesterday we completed chapter number 6. That was the Qaid in Pakistan. Its grammar and vocabulary exercises all are done. Today we are going to start up with the new chapter, that is Sultan Ahmed Mosque. So please open your books in front of you. Open your books in front of you on page number 73. Open your books in front of you on page number 73. Be quick, please, and just wait for one more minute for others to join. Then we will start up with the reading of our new chapter. Okay, I think the students who were supposed to join, they have joined. So let's start up with the chapter. Open your books. The chapter is Sultan Ahmad Masjid. Pictures aren't a bit clear. Sorry for that. But you can read from your book. I'll read it and you can consult your book for that. Are you ready, everyone? Okay. The Sultan Ahmed Masjid is one of the most impressive monuments in the world. It is also known as the Blue Masjid because of the blue tiles that embellish its interior. Situated in Istanbul, the largest city in Turkey and the capital of Ottoman Empire from 1453 to 1923, it has become the most popular tourist attraction. So Sultan Ahmed Masjid uh, is also known as Blue Masjid. Can anyone tell me why Sultan Ahmed Masjid is also known as Blue Masjid? Why Sultan Ahmed Masjid is also known as Blue Masjid? Can anyone? That's good because it has blue interior. That's good, Maria. Okay. It was situated in Istanbul. Istanbul was the capital city of Turkey from 1453 to 1923, and Sultan Ahmed Mosque was the most important tourist attraction. It's the most important tourist attraction because of its vast area and its interior that was decorated beautifully. It was constructed between 1609 and 1616 during the rule of Ahmed I. As the custom, this masjid, like the other masjid of the time, comprised of a tomb of the founder, a madrasa, and a hospice. So its construction continued till 7 years. It was constructed in the reign of Ahmed Dawan, the ruler Ahmed Dawan, and it has been constructed for 7 years. And as per the custom of that at that time, the masjid should consist of three things: a tomb of the founder, a madrasa, and a hospice. And there was the tomb of the founder, the Ahmed Dawan, and then a madrasa. Madrasa is a place where students are taught with the teachings of Islam. They are taught with the Holy Quran, the translation of the Holy Quran, and other teachings of Islam. And then it consisted of a hospice. What is a hospice? Can anyone tell me what is a hospice? It's a place to stay. That's good. For the travelers. A place for the travelers to rest. That's good. Just wait for a while, students. Then the construction of the masjid started in 1609. The royal architect Sadafar Mehmet Agha was appointed by the Sultan as in charge of the project. The opening ceremony was held in 1616. Unfortunately, the Sultan could not see the completion of the masjid in his life. It was completed in the reign of his successor, Mustafa I. Construction, as we already discussed, that the construction was started in 1609 and it continued till 1616. So the construction continued almost till 7 years. And the royal architect Sadifar Mehmet Agha was appointed as the in charge of the project, but unfortunately, till the opening ceremony, the Ahmed Dawan, the Sultan, the Sultan is basically the title of the ruler of the Ottoman Empire. The Sultan who started the construction of the mosque was not alive at that time, so he wasn't able to see the completion. It was completed in the reign of his successor, Mustafa the One, and it was Mustafa the One who hosted the opening ceremony of the masjid. Okay, next, the blue masjid reflects the architectural style of the both Ottoman masjid and the Byzantine church. Hagia Sophia, a masjid, one of the wonders of the Muslim architecture, was also kept in view as a model. The Blue Masjid, even today, is constructed to be unmatched in splendor, majesty, and size. As I told you earlier, that it was one of the most popular tourist attraction because of its size, its majesty, and its decoration, its beauty. Few other masajids were kept in mind while making this mosque. Ottoman Masjid and the Byzantine Church were the places that were kept in mind while making the Sultan Ahmed Masjid. The masjid has a spacious forecourt surrounded by a continuous vaulted arcade. The masjid has a forecourt. The front part of the masjid, it has ablution facilities on both sides. ablution facilities on the both sides. Where were we? In the center, there is a fountain which is rather small in contrast with the magnitude of the courtyard. A heavy iron chain is hung at the upper part of the entrance at the western side. This side was meant for the Sultan alone. The chain was put there so that the Sultan had to lower his head every time he entered the court. It was a symbolic gesture to ensure the humility of the ruler in the face of divine power. So, the masjid has a forecourt that was surrounded by a continuous vaulted arcade. What are vaulted arcade? Continuous forecourt. The corridors of the masjid were covered with vaulted arcades, means that the corridors were covered with the minaret shapes roof. The chat jo thi uski, it was in the shape of minarets. So it was covered with the vaulted arcades. And it has ablution facilities on both the sides. Ablution facilities, the facility for wuzu. In the center, there is a fountain which is rather small. There is a fountain, but the fountain is very small as compared to the courtyard, because the courtyard was very big and there was a heavy iron chain. Why was the heavy iron chain hanging? Why was the heavy iron chain hanging? What was the purpose of the heavy iron chain? Type your answers. Be quick. Okay, Lamia, so that the Sultan would bow his head while entering, so that the Sultan had to lower his head every time he entered the court. So that the Sultan had to lower his head while he entered the court, because to ensure the humility in the face of divine, that he should the sultan, the ruler, should know that he has to bow his head somewhere, and someone is bigger than him, someone is handling all these affairs, and he has to bow his head in front of that supreme power. He has to bow his head in front of that supreme power. Okay. The interior of the masjid at the lower level is lined with more than 20,000 handmade ceramic tiles in more than 50 different tulip designs. At the gallery level, the design becomes flamboyant with representations of flowers, fruits, and cypresses. So the interior of the masjid is discussed over here. The interior of the masjid is lined lined with more than 20,000 handmade ceramic tiles. Have you ever seen handmade ceramic tiles? You must have seen ceramic tiles, but the handmade ceramic tiles, but the handmade ceramic tiles are uh, very expensive, because they are to be made very carefully, with each and every part to be cut with hand and be fixed on the tile manually. So the handmade ceramic tiles are very expensive and they are very difficult to find. But in the Sultan Ahmed Masjid, the lower level is lined with 20,000 handmade ceramic tiles in more than 50 different tulip designs. At that gallery level, the design became flamboyant. What do we mean by flamboyant? Flamboyant means colorful. At the gallery level, the designs became bright, colorful, that's good, with the representation of flowers, fruits, and cypresses. The designs represent flowers, fruits, and cypresses. Cypresses are the trees that you must have seen those trees. Cypresses are the trees that are cone shaped, big trees. The most important element, the most important element in the interior of the masjid is the mihrab, which is made of finely carved marble. To the right of the mihrab is a richly decorated pulpit. The masjid is so designed that even when it is most crowded, everyone is in the masjid can listen to and look at the imam. So the most important element of the masjid is the mihrab. The mihrabs were designed beautifully, which were made with finely carved marble. And to the right of the mihrab, there is a decorated pulpit. Pulpit is basically the place where Imam stand and addresses, gave his deliver his Jummah address, and the Imam stand in front of the people for prayer. That is easily called member. So masjid is designed in a way that doesn't matter how many people are gathered in the masjid for the prayer, everyone can listen to and see the imam. The pulpit is designed in such a way. The royal room is situated as the southeast corner. It has its own pulpit that used to be decorated with jade and roses. The Blue Masjid has 6 minarets. 4 minarets stand one each at the four corners of the masjid. Each of these pencil-shaped minarets had three balconies, while the other two at the end of the forecourt have only two balconies. So there is a royal room with its own pulpit, and there are 6 minarets. In the evening, a large number of tourists and Turks gather in the park facing the masjid to listen to the call to the evening namaz. The masjid is flooded with lights, and so are the hearts of the believers with divine love. Though, though much has been lost of the Blue Masjid over the years, yet it has not lost the love of its visitors. The masjid is still one of the most visited monuments of the world. In the evening, when there is the time of the Maghrib prayer, the masjid is flooded with the tourists and the namazis, and it was illuminated with the lights and the beautiful flamboyant lights, so as the hearts of the believers with the divine love. Although the masjid has lost a number of things, but still it is the most important attraction and the most visited place of the Muslim architecture. So this is the chapter. Is there any confusion in it, Evita? Everything clear? Okay, we'll discuss the remaining things. We'll discuss the comprehension question answers tomorrow, inshallah. And we'll see you on Monday in the school. Take care of yourselves for now and Allah Hafiz.